Hello, everyone. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July week and a great Friday to end the week. I had an amazing Friday once again, over 1,000. I this this strategy is almost truly unbelievable. It's hard for me to even believe that it's been this simple. I'm hoping that I'm just not on some sort of a lucky streak, but it has been for several weeks now that I have went without having a loss on a day for the entire day. And now I have had losses, like you can see. I had a loss on AVGO, and I had another loss. I must have overrode it, or maybe I got rid of it through another profit. But I had another loss for like around 70, $80, but it's gone now. So anyway, um, I wanted to kind of do a recap of my Friday, but I also wanted to go over the this trading strategy once again for those of you that may be new to the video. This strategy is, I call it the Anchored LRC, um, and what it is, I'll go to the larger chart so that you can see. The first trade I took today was Amazon, and firstly, let me get to my grids. So this is what I'll be watching. I have 24 grids, 12 on two different monitors, so 24 altogether. And what I will be watching is pre-market. I'd like to see, I do put in support and resistance levels as well, manually. And I will watch and see what's going on at pre-market. This is a 20 on my grid. The white one is just easier for me to see from because they're above my other monitors. So the 20 EMA is the white line. The 200 EMA is the yellow line. And so what I'm looking for, I really like when the 20 and the 200 are coming kind of close together. And this is my anchored LRC. These are anchored at two specific points, which is what makes them so incredible. And I'll show you how good they actually are in just a few minutes, and just kind of show you some different variations of why they work so well. But so this is what I watch these, and this is what helps me to get into my trades every single day since I've started this method. It has progressed since I first started. At first, when I started this, I did not use the 200 or the 20. I was just trading out of the LRC, and then I did have some losses a few days in a row. I didn't have losses on the day, but I had losses during the day, and so I went back and back tested to find out maybe what. Oops, I didn't mean to hit on demand. What would have what could have caused it, or what I could have done to possibly help keep from having those losses. And what I came up with was I found that if I put a 200 EMA on a 2 minute chart, so this works with the 2 minute chart, okay? And by putting it on a 2 minute chart, the 200 EMA, every time that when I first started trading this strategy, every time, I wouldn't say every time, but a lot of times when I traded into the 200, meaning that if it's below price, to buy puts to go into it, or if the 200 is above price, then I'd buy calls to trade up into the 200. I don't like doing that. I want to be on the other side of the 200. Um, I will even wait for a cross like what happens here to try to get in. I would not have got in here because I want it to cross or see what it's going to do off my LRC. One thing you'll notice is the LRC. Look at how it gives perfect support and resistance as the day goes. It didn't up here, but other stocks, I'll show you if I can find some. Today was kind of an interesting day, but and here's one other thing. I also use what I call a long LRC, And how I get that is I go to a 1 hour chart, and right now this looks messy because I have the after hours on, and I'll come in and I'll draw a manual um, long LRC. From drawing that manual LRC, it shows me actual pivots to get prepared for. They don't always work out, but a lot of times when you see, say you're in an uptrend like it is, when you come down to this is the second deviation, you usually get an explosion off of it, or you at least could trade possible swings, because once it comes down and stays above it, the price practically stays above it. If you notice, it comes back up, consolidates above it, comes down, hits it, boom, goes way up here, comes down, consolidates on my support line, goes above, wicks down off of this LRC on the long LRC, goes up, hits it, comes down to the one deviation, comes back up. Anyway, you get the point. The real interesting thing is on my 2 minute, I have a long LRC, and look where it came up. It wicked down, came back up to it again, wicked down, came down to my actual intraday LRC, or the anchored LRC, came back up. Look where it hit. Absolute perfection. So the way I use these, I use them in a couple different ways. One, I use it for entry. That's the most important part of this strategy. Two, I use them to scale out, and I use them to take profit. So if I'm getting up to what I know is a long-term LRC, I'll just take all profit. I'm not even going to try to hold it anymore. And the reason for that is, say it goes above it, I'll just wait to see if it comes back down and retest it, just like you would trade a regular support and resistance level, just like you'd trade one of these right here. I would wait, I'll go ahead and get out all profit. So I've put the profit away. Then I may load up some another option, or yeah, some more options or contracts, and wait for a retest, and then I'll just get in again for more upside. So that is how I use the LRCs, and I use the 20 and the 200 to trade. I want to be above the 200, but I try to use the 20 as my exit. So my first trade today, let me see if I can give you a better look of it. It looks so different when it's here instead of on my smaller chart. So at the beginning of the day, I was actually looking at a different stock, and then I pivoted right to this right away because I saw when I was looking up at my grid, I noticed that one thing I also focus on, if you guys are going to attempt to use this strategy, I've noticed this is very, very important. It works like almost 100% of the time. It's crazy. I know that's crazy to hear, but it really does. In when market opens, if you get like, how we get the crazy volatility in the beginning, if you get a push down and you get a wick off of one of the LRC lines, eh, what I mean by wick, if you have it come down and then all of a sudden it buys back up and it pushes up off the LRC above the 200 or the 20, I get in. So I got in literally right here today. I I got in, it came back down. Normally I would add, but because it was Friday, I literally made $392 on this push right here. I didn't add. I think I got out of all of mine on this move here, except for one, and I think I held it and ended up with $392. So I could have held it further up all the way to the long LRC, which is here. I did not. I just went ahead and put away the $392 really quick. I don't recall how many options I purchased. I think I had six. So I think I started with six. So my next trade was um, which was Microsoft. So that was a small trade. Could have been better. I just didn't take profit right away. But Microsoft, I'll show you how I traded it. And oh, actually, Microsoft was a late day trade. No, this was the one I missed. This was a huge miss today. So pay it. Just look at this right here. I have a support level that I placed. This is my resistance that I had already put in. You can see it. It respected it, but then just blasted through it. Blasted right through my long LRC as well. But when market opens, this is what I'm talking about for you to focus on. Notice how this, wick's kind of going up and down, but when you come down and hit your LRC and you push up and close above the 20 or the 200, automatically that is a get in for me. I will get in right here on this candle as soon as it goes above this, and this opened above, right? So it opened above, pushed back down, went back up. I would be in that 10 times out of 10 when I see this happen. That is an A plus setup. A plus setup for me. So I missed this and it hurts the heart because look how easy this is. If you use the 20 like I try to do, two red closes, you would have got all the way to right here to get out. Now, granted, I would have taken profit here. I would have taken profit. I would have taken profit right in this area. This was a fib level that I put in later. This I would have taken profit here on this long LRC and um, possibly taken all profit or scaled out and then hopefully I would have got out right in here. But it's almost the same spot anyway. But anyway, that would have been a beautiful, beautiful, probably a couple $1,000 trade right there, just because that's just huge. 459 to 466. Big trade right there. And the rest of my day really was made up of SPX. I got into an SMH trade. That was a really good trade. I'll show you that one. I just happened to see that on my chart, and it was not an LRC. Let me see. I don't believe. Oh, yes, it was an LRC trade. Yep, it was. It was this one right here. So I saw how I typically don't like to get in runners, but I just happened to notice that the 20 EMA, and this is how I use the 20 EMA. You can watch it. I noticed that it started respecting it, coming down, wicking up. And I actually caught this one kind of in, late in the day, but that was okay. I got in right here on this break of the LRC in the close. As soon as this candle went above this candle, I got in and I held, I added, and I held, and I ended up with, how much did I end up with? $219. I think, I don't recall where I got out, but the way to trade this would be to get in here, scale off on this little push, wait for the pullback, buy in when it crosses back over the high of this candle here, scale out at this LRC, hold, and scale out, hold, and then once you get three candles and then another close underneath this LRC, that's where I would normally get out. So once you start breaking back below your LRCs, you can use those as a guide that you've broken a resistance because they're that important. They are incredible. Let me see how much Microsoft may have respected the LRC today. So maybe you can see what I see, right? Look, I'm sorry, not Microsoft, SMH. Check this out. This is how good this anchored LRC is. Comes down, consolidates right on the LRC, blasts through the LRC, down towards the 200, comes back up. Where does it stop? Right dead on the LRC. Comes back up, gets right to the LRC, respects it. You see it it has a little trouble. This is where I actually bought in when I closed over this LRC when when it showed me that it had the strength to continue up. So that's where I got in, and it comes up almost to this LRC, down, hits this LRC, wakes up off of it, pushes up, consolidates, bounces this LRC, comes back down to this one, pushes up to this LRC, which is the mean, the mid is my cyan, consolidates, comes down off of it, this one hits here, comes back down to this I'm sorry, that's not the LRC. This is below the LRC, this is the 200. Comes down here, LRC, LRC, and then down. If that doesn't show you how incredible this is, nothing will, because it's absolutely amazing. Um, Same thing with, I did take a loss on AVGO. I got into, I got on the wrong side of it. Um, I actually had, oh, that was my other loss. My other loss was an AVGO to the upside. So I got in AVGO right, where was it? Oh, I think I got in AVGO really early. That was the one I lost like 100 or 200. I got out real quick. I got in, it went down, it went up. I was up like $300 when I first bought it. But then this started going down, and as soon as I cleared past this LRC, I got out immediately. So that was should have been a call that would be showing right here. So anyhow, I ended up losing. It was right at 100. It may have been more than $100 on this one. And then I got into another put, and this time I wasn't trading the LRC, and that's when I lose. I literally lose when I don't trade the LRC. So I think I was trying to catch some further downside, and I think I got into one of these late moves. Like I thought it was going to go down. I got in and then it went up. So I just got out of it. It closed twice over the 220. So I took a $69 loss. So anyway, it's kind of a dumb trade. I was really trying to catch a bigger, if I had stayed in, I would have got all of this, but I didn't. I don't like to chance it. The AVGO can really hose you. Um, where I'm finding that this strategy, if any of you guys like to trade SPX, man, is it a great. I have been just absolutely destroying it with SPX. I really have. It's been incredible. It's been easy. I used to be stressed when I was trading uh, SPX because you know how in one candle you're out. I still am like really on edge because you know you have to manage it. But this was where I think I got the $600 trade in here. It's pretty easy. Saw it come in, wicked up off the LRC, closed above the 20. I got in, held. I may have made the 600 here. I may have wrote it up even more, but I literally was able to catch several SPX trades just super easy. Like it's real easy when when you're using this system. Not only the LRC, but the 20. So, for instance, I've just found it so simple. And sometimes I miss, right? Sometimes I'll get a loss, but it's usually very minimal because I'm trading, like for instance, let's just say I wasn't in one. What I can do is I can watch SPY and I'll watch it pull back to the 20. And I even tell the guys in the group, I'm like, hey, check this out. Watch what it's going to do on the 20. See if it wicks up. And as soon as it comes down and you see this buy back up off the 20, watch your next candle. If you get a green candle, then what I do, if I get a green candle and I get another green candle over that green candle, I enter and I just hold it until it either comes back to the 20 or I've made enough profit, which that would be a ton of profit with SPX. Um, and then I just take my profit and then I wait for another pullback, another push up over, and then I get in on this candle, ride this one up, hop out of it here, and just rinse and repeat. I do this over and over and over each day, and it works. Even when SPY is in a crappy, choppy type setup, which it was a couple weeks ago, like this was garbage. Now, this you can't make any money in. I don't care who you are. Yeah, that's crazy. But you have to get, you have to have some sort of a move. And if you get caught up in this, the best thing I can say to do is when you start seeing an area like this happening, just be smart. Draw a box around it. You don't have to trade that. Just draw a box around that consolidation and say, look, if it doesn't break out of this area, I'm not trading. So as soon as it breaks out, hop in, see what happens. You might get that. You may not. Breaks out here, you may get continuation, but you have to be ready to get back out if it goes back inside your box. That's the only way I would suggest trading if you're going to try to trade chop. I actually suggest you don't ever trade chop, but the problem is that you don't really know you're in chop until you're in the chop. Until you have time to actually visualize it and see it. Then once you start seeing this and you're like, okay, hold on. That's when I tell the guys in Discord, I'm like, okay, hey, draw a box around your consolidation and wait for a break of your consolidation and get in. And then use your 20 as your guide. It's really pretty simple. But yeah, I made quite a, I don't even know how much I made today, close to 1600 today. I made over 1,000 every single day this week, every single day last week but one, and every single day this week but one. And I that was yesterday, or I'm sorry, Wednesday I made 900. I was over 1,000, but then I took a boneheaded move and tried to um, trade not using my strategy. I tried to just catch a runner in late day and ended up uh, losing again. So you can see there's a trend there. If I trade with my strategy and trade smart, it's pretty easy to eke out $800,000 a day. It really is, and I know that everyone thinks, probably hears me say that. It's like, yeah, that's BS. It's not. I'm telling you, I used to struggle. I would do well. I would do great, and then I would do bad, and I would do great, and then I would do bad, and I would have to try to catch up. I would do worse than I did good, right? And then it would take me several days to make up my loss. And then I'd feel good. I'd get on a win streak to a small degree, nothing like this. And then I would have a bad day, and then I would spend the next 3 4 days making up that bad day, and I just kept kind of slowly going down, and then I'd go up a little, and then I'd go a little further down below my the amount of my overall money that I had in the account. And then I finally, when I discovered this strategy, which was by accident, I'm not even looking back anymore, man. I am profiting every day. It's really easy. This isn't a gimmick. It's price action trading. Um, I don't really trust all the indicators. I've tried them. I've been down that road. I've had literally been through thousands of them and have lost my rear with every single one of them. There isn't one type of indicator that, gives you signals and tells you to get in and tells you this is the right time, and there isn't one. There, all those people selling that stuff, they're garbage. They're garbage humans because they know it's not working. They're just trying to take advantage of you and take advantage of new traders, and that's truly sad. Um, and if I'm wrong, I invite any person to come to my Discord and prove me wrong. Show me an indicator. You don't even have to share it with me. I don't even want to keep it, but show me an indicator that will work consistently time and time again to where you can be profitable. No one will come to the Discord to show me that because they don't exist. If they existed, these people wouldn't be sharing them. They'd just be sitting happily in their offices making millions every day. So anyway, this is really the way to trade. You use your support resistance levels, trade the break and retest, or the Anchored LRC, which is one that I discovered. The LRC I did not discover. Of course, that's been around forever. The Linear Regression Channel. It's where I happen to anchor it, is what makes it so special. And I invite you to come to my Discord. I did make it monetized. I started getting quite a few traders coming in, and honestly, I was spending a lot of time helping and assisting, which I enjoy doing. But I felt like my time was important and was valuable to the traders, and I believe that it is. I believe that the most of the guys that are in there, which gives me joy. They come in, they trade some of the guys. They're literally done by 11, sometimes 10, 11. They're like, I'm out. Great job. Spend the rest of the day with family. That's what we all want to do, I think, as traders. Come in, have a good couple trades, meet your goal for the day early, and move on. And that's kind of what this allows us to do. The other thing that this strategy allows me to do is, say I get into a bad trade early on and I take a loss. One thing I can um, one thing I can say is that um, I'm able to make up my loss very easily, and I that's not something I used to be able to do either. Like when I would get behind, I felt like I kept trying to trade, and then I would trade practically the entire day. Now I'm literally able to leave most days by 11 o'clock and I'm done. Matter of fact, usually it's by 10 o'clock, but I do trade more of try to make a little extra. If I didn't make over 1,000, I'll try to get to that goal. But um honestly, you could trade until like 10 o'clock almost, um, and you're done. And unless, of course, you catch a trade that isn't if you have a loss or a couple losses that just don't work out. There are times when the LRC strategy, say that you get, well, right here you would have made money. Um, let's just say you get in this one here. Um, I can find the times when they do not work. Um, so, for instance, if you were to trade this, you would want to trade, well, this one you would have never got in. So why you wouldn't have got in this is that you had this huge candle through the 20 and the 200, which that would excite me, right? But I would only trade this candle moving below this candle. So since that didn't happen, I would not have got in this candle. The other thing that possibly would have kept me out of this is I really do respect my LRC lines. So because this candle came down all the way to this LRC and then wicked up off of it, I would want to see a close below, another move below this candle. And sometimes I just have to, I use my experience and my judgment during the day to make the decisions that I make. Um, and I do call out my trades live in Discord so that if you want to be a part of that, you're welcome to come in, and we do have a free section. The live section though is a paid section. So there's a group in there and we all help each other put up information, give each other ideas of trades that are, coming in, or trades that each of us sees. So if you'd like to come and join us, come on in. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have a really large community so that we can, one, share this awesome strategy and share in the profits together. And I don't know, it just makes it really nice when we have a group that we can all appreciate one another and and enjoy seeing the success of each other. But anyhow, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I will be back Monday and I will put out hopefully another video on Monday. And if you guys are interested, come and join me in the Discord. I will leave the Discord information in the description. So the link will be in the description if you'd like to come and join. Also, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.